We've been, talking about this for the last 10 days, guys, since this happened last Saturday. In the preparation that was going into and all the emotion that was going into this as officers were getting ready to finally pay their respects. And I can see officers now on their motorcycles get back on their motorcycles. It looks like we're getting even closer to this procession beginning. Again, no Mopac, northbound Mopac, southbound 183, southbound I-35. We've been alerting our viewers as well. If you are trying to get to work this morning or you're just going about your daily life, expect those massive traffic delays because you can already see here just how big of a presence it's going to be. This procession line is going to be massive with so much law enforcement in this procession line. I can already see they're blocking off 2222 up there. They're stopping traffic so that this procession line can go on without any hindrance. But again, like we said, and Erica I know is going to be tracking those traffic maps for us to let you know when and where this procession is heading. But again, if you are usually take 183 or I-35 southbound, Mopac northbound, it's going to be a heavy delay there. So try your best to avoid that. And downtown, our website, kxan.com, we have a great description of where this procession is going to be, very detailed. So if you do want to go down there to pay your respects, you can line the streets down there and say goodbye as Officer Pastore is heading down. We actually talked to the incoming president for the Austin Police Association about what to expect. Take a listen to what he said.
It's a final way for us to show our respect. We're there to, again, just honor him. It's all about making sure that we remember him appropriately. We have typically there's a riderless horse, which signifies, someone that's no longer on duty, someone that's no longer on patrol. We also have 21 gun salutes. We have, all these police honors are aimed at showing our final respects for someone who's no longer able to carry on the mission.
And that's the point of today, is to pay those respects for a man who was protecting his community and died in doing so. So much outpouring of emotion here, as well as as I said, around 7 o'clock this morning, we saw all kinds of law enforcement and first responders showing up. We saw a lot of EMS crew, hugging each other, embracing each other as they get ready to say goodbye to a friend and a colleague. We here are waiting for this procession to begin. I am at the Weed Corley Fish Funeral Home up here in North Austin, just off of 2222. It looks like the motorcycle cops that are going to be leading this procession, they're getting ready. They're all up in the line. It looks about close to 50 motorcycle cops. And like I said earlier, these are law enforcement agents from all over Central Texas. I'm seeing Bexar County, New Braunfels SWAT, of course Austin SWAT, Austin Honorable Guard here, but our neighbors up north, Williamson County, they're also here. Travis County, state troopers, such a big presence here of law enforcement. We'll just give you another look, show you around at what we're seeing. And we have been already seeing some traffic delays here, guys, but we'll send it back to Jen and Sally right now as we wait for this procession to begin, guys.
Dylan, as we have you out there, and we'll continue looking at your live picture and video that you're sending us. You talked about police officers from all over Central Texas. I've talked to police officers who say they have officers coming in from out of the state too. I know some family members are being flown in from other countries. Dylan, the family, do you know if they have arrived there yet? And I apologize if you already told us that.
Yeah, Sally, we did see family arrive. Sorry, let me get out of the way here. We did see family arrive. Of course, they asked us, and police have asked us not to show them on camera. They are asking for their privacy. As I can now hear the hum of the motors of those motorcycles. They're turning on. It looks like now we are within minutes here of starting this procession. But to answer your question, Sally, yes, we did see his family show up. Of course, he's leaving behind his wife, his two stepchildren. He has two sisters also. They are in some of these cars that are in the front of this procession. We're going to back things up here. We're just moving some equipment around because we want to get out of the way. We don't want to get in anyone's way as they start driving this procession down the line here. But yeah, Sally, we have seen family come here, and now we're just waiting here for this procession to begin.
Okay, and let's now get to Erica Brennis. Erica, it looks like they are about to start. We've seen delays since about 5 this morning. What are we seeing now on our roads?
So right now, southbound Mopac is one of the heaviest spots as far as traffic is concerned. By the way, we're going to do split boxes so we can continue to look live at this funeral procession and be able to show you TxDOT cameras throughout the morning as we follow this procession along the route. So it does look like they are about to depart, but if you are watching and you know anyone that typically takes southbound Mopac in North Austin near 2222, even 2222, extremely heavy delays in both directions there. Give them a heads up about this because it is a serious traffic issue. Of course, this closure here at 2222 and Mopac has been in place since before 7 a.m. We started to see those delays. So here they go. The officers, the first motorcycle police officers are departing from the funeral home. They will be taking northbound Mopac from 2222. And these are rolling closures, so expect heavy delays along northbound Mopac. They're going to then take southbound Highway 183 over to I-35, I-35 southbound towards the downtown area. There are a lot of people participating in this funeral procession. We don't have exact times as far as when things close, when things open. You see the casket draped in the American flag there as that funeral procession begins. So from 2222 up northbound Mopac over to southbound 183, southbound 35, they'll be exiting in the downtown area, driving past Austin Police Headquarters, up 6th Street, down Congress by the Capitol. They will make their way back to southbound 35. Then take eastbound Highway 71. They're going to be passing the airport through the Del Valley area. Closures again along all of this route as that procession makes its way to the Circuit of the Americas for the funeral at 11 a.m. So we do have team coverage this morning. You will be watching this live along with us on KXAN, on CW Austin. As we continue this coverage, I'm going to send things back over to Sally and Jen. We're going to be showing you these traffic shots on our TxDOT camera as they do make their way up Mopac and 183.
Thank you so much, Erica. Yeah, Jen and I were just watching the procession, and when we saw Officer Pastore's body in the back of that SWAT vehicle, very somber moment as his body is draped in the American flag. What we do know about Officer Pastore is that he did serve, believe in the military. He also served as a medic in Florida and wanted to do more. And he came to Austin to do exactly that. Rose the ranks with the SWAT team very quickly and highly in his almost 4 years here in the Austin Police Department. Talking to people who knew Officer Pastore, and I know that we call him Jorge, but we are told that his family and friends call him George. But for our purposes, I never had the pleasure of actually meeting Officer Pastore, so I'll call him Jorge. But what we can tell you is that just talking to some of his police officer friends and some of his members within the SWAT team, that he was a dedicated officer. He was somebody who loved doing what he was doing that day when he responded on Saturday to help rescue hostages. Jen, I'll tell you that one of my friends who is a retired Austin police officer told me that he has many friends that knew the fallen officer, and I asked if this was okay if I shared with you at home, and he said yes. He said Officer Pastore had a saying tattooed on his chest that gave him chills when he heard about it. The tattoo was, "Protect my brothers everywhere. Everyone goes home."
Wow, wow. And something that really resonated with me, Sally, just reading his obituary, it says Jorge was truly a humble warrior who championed other people's dreams, goals, accomplishments. And also, he mentored hundreds of children just throughout his life. Very passionate about martial arts. He began teaching that at the age of 16. Him and his wife later opened Champions for Life, and that's where he taught children through the course of his life. So truly a special man, a mentor, and someone who loved just really helping and uplifting other people.
He did. He helped so many kids, him and his wife, Kim, inside that that realm of martial arts, and then also touched many lives outside. We are looking at the procession as it goes through Central Texas and ultimately ends at the Circuit of the Americas. Erica, what can you tell us about traffic that we're looking at right now?
Right now, you're looking at, on the right side of your screen, northbound Mopac, very close to 2222 at White Rock Drive. You see that officially northbound Mopac is closed. They have made their way up northbound Mopac. I'm going to switch the camera to see if we can catch up at North Hills Drive. We have several TxDOT cameras we're utilizing.
What page is that?
There you go. You see it. Maybe it's hard to see with the split screen. It's on the far right side. What you're looking at on the left side of Mopac here at North Hills is southbound traffic. Currently, the procession is on northbound Mopac. So all northbound Mopac lanes currently closed for this procession. On the left side, you're watching the vehicles depart from the funeral home. Let me show you what it looks like at 2222 so you can see all of this traffic. Do you see? This is the exit for 2222 off of Mopac. Every single vehicle lining this street, all 4 lanes of that service road are full of vehicles that are about to join that procession. Their emergency lights are on. So from a traffic standpoint, obviously a significant impact there to 2222 to Mopac, and then of course the rest of the route that we will be following for you. So that is a service road of southbound Mopac at 2222. You're talking officers lined up on balconies all the way to far west. So a little bit of a spotty connection here. Let me move the TxDOT camera now to Mopac and Steck to see how it looks from there, to see where we are. So it looks like we haven't quite had the procession make it to Steck yet. So we can leave it here. We can wait to see as they come up on the distance. I'm trying to see if they are going to make it. Sometimes it takes longer than you would actually expect, but Steck in Mopac will be the next spot that they make. So let me go back to 2222 in Mopac right here. So, okay, the first lane of traffic along the service road at 2222 in Mopac has started to move. So we've got movement here. Now remember, these are rolling closures. So as the procession clears, they will reopen things, but 2222 at Mopac has been closed since just before 7 a.m. was when I started to see those delays on southbound Mopac. So a very significant impact to traffic this morning because of this procession. Do you see even on that, you can't see it because I don't know if we're able to do more of a split screen or maybe take TxDOT whole for a second so I can show you on the bridge along Mopac. We've got a fire truck and officials saluting that procession there. So we're going to be watching this. We'll take one more look at Steck to see if they've made it to Steck and Mopac quite yet. And then we'll continue to bounce back between, see they're coming. You can see them off in the distance. We can leave it here as we send things back to Jen and Sally.
All right, Erica, thanks so much. And something that you couldn't see when our reporter Dylan McKim was doing his live hit for us, we saw many citizens from across Central Texas lining the streets, and you will see that along this parade route. So we do ask that you be cognizant of that and be careful as you are on the road. So of course, we're keeping an eye on this procession. There's a live look right now. At the same time, we're hearing more from those who knew Officer Pastore closely. So Austin Police Association's president-elect Michael Bullock says Pastore was a medic in Florida before he came to Austin. Sally mentioned that a few minutes ago. He tells KXAN's Britt Moreno that work inspired him to become an officer.
He went to a shooting, and what drove him to this profession was he didn't want to be the one that had to come and try to save people after something terrible had happened. He wanted to go in and try to prevent it from happening altogether. So he was part of, and one of the primary ways that we met was through what's called a CAST team. So at APD, we have a it's called a Counter Assault Strike Team, CAST.
Oh, okay.
And so we exist to respond to active shooting incidents, to respond to active forms of violence. And it's a team that stood up on a regular basis that, you know, it's not very public facing, right? We're kind of like this shadow. Like, we're always around, but we're very close. And so he was a big part of that team, and that was a big reason why he was here. That was stuff that he wanted to be a part of. And so we have these CAST teams where officers and paramedics are in the same unit. So we ride as a unit to where officers are with medics, so that way we can get medics closer to people before an incident is secure. So that way medics don't have to wait. And so he was one of the biggest believers in that mission. And so, like, our program has grown. He's been a very active part of that. But that's one of the biggest callings right there.
I'm also told that we have friends and some of his fellow members of medics from Florida who are in town in Austin to say goodbye to their friend. And as we watch the traffic along with you of the procession route that continues from the funeral home over to the Circuit of the Americas, the weather is a concern.
It certainly is. And I know we were talking about fog earlier, visibility. What are people contending with as they go along this route?
There's certainly still some reduced visibility, but as we can see some from the tech stock cameras there, that we can at least get traffic moving there, and we can stand still and watch that procession come through. I want to show you too, I have access to our weather cameras and can show you APD headquarters. We know that the procession is going to be passing through there. So if we can show you that Austonian weather camera look, you'll notice that all is quiet now. We have some visibility. It's not perfect out there because of the fog. We still have a dense fog advisory in effect for another hour and a half. So we realize that that could certainly tie things up for everybody this morning, but it has improved, believe it or not. So we're starting to see the weather cooperate some. It's not perfect, but for those who are going to be heading out to the procession around here, you'll notice that the temperatures are going to be chilly, 50s and 60s, but the roads will not be wet. The drizzle that we're seeing is super light, that I'm not expecting any major impacts from there. I think it's just at this point going to be the fog that we'll be watching for. You see there the procession continuing to work its way through Austin. Sally.
Thank you so much, Kristen. And as you are joining us here on KXAN and maybe on our website at KXAN.com, we're bringing you special coverage honoring the life of Senior Police Officer Jorge Pastore. We have people from all over the country who are coming to say their final goodbyes to the officer.
Okay, and we do want to get right now to our Jayla Washington. She has a live interview now with someone who knew Pastore. Jayla?
Hi, good morning, Jennifer and Sally. Yeah, I am here with a retired police officer. Say your name for us, sir.
Fred Rodriguez.
You've been out here all morning long since about 5 o'clock this morning. You've been helping with the procession process. Kind of tell me what's going on right here. We see lots of law enforcement, lots of cadets lined up on the street.
Yes, ma'am. What we're trying to do is get everybody organized and show our respect for the officer. The cadets came out here, and I think it's fantastic they're out here. We also have civilians on the plaza that have come out. So it's a show of togetherness, a show of family that we're trying to portray.
When I was talking to you earlier, you know, you were saying that you're a retired officer and you have done this one too many times. What is that like for you doing this again this morning? Another one of your brothers fallen in the line of duty.
It's always tough. Again, it's a member of the family. No matter how long you've been retired, how long you've been with the police department, you always are a family. And so it's very difficult.
What are some of the things that you're hearing from your fellow law enforcement officers this morning who are just obviously extremely hurt and with heavy hearts?
Well, I think what they want is some type of support from the community, and that goes a long way. I mean, even to the point of having just someone come up to you and say thank you for what you do, it means a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate you taking the time out this morning. So I want to step out of the way so you guys can see right now there are dozens of cadets lined out here in front of police headquarters. There are also, you know, some bystanders, just community members also waiting for this procession to pass by. paying their respects. I was speaking to one lady earlier today who was just in tears, saying, you know, she's got family in law enforcement and absolutely cannot imagine, you know, with it being the holidays, waking up without your loved ones. So as you heard him say, they are appreciative of the support and the love, but obviously just a very, very sad situation here. Again, dozens of cadets lined up waiting for this procession to pass by the APD headquarters, ready to pay their respects, as well as community members holding signs in support, people driving by as well, just kind of seemingly honking their horns in support. But, you know, it's a gloomy day out here, and I know all throughout Central Texas right now, everyone just with heavy hearts.
It does, it seems fitting, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, and something I will say that resonates with us all, it's not lost on us, is that Thanksgiving is just a few days away. His wife, Kim, his two stepsons,
Yes.
his family, they have to deal with that loss during the holiday.
One less person at the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah.
It's hard to take in as we look at the procession that is still up in North Austin, winding its way to downtown Austin at the Austin Police Department headquarters. Erica, you know, your microphone's back on. If you can give us an idea of exactly how far away are we seeing officers and Officer Pastore's body from APD headquarters?
So far, I've been following the procession. Officer Pastore's casket currently in an Army vehicle. If you look live, if we can take the TxDOT cameras full screen, you can see it right here coming up. The TxDOT camera team has been doing a fantastic job of following it. It just passed. So this is at 183 in North Austin at Clearfield. I'm going to take the next camera I have, 183 at Lamar. So they're taking their time. Obviously, so many people paying respects inside of this procession. I have not moved the TxDOT camera all the way back, but I mean, you saw how many people were lined up along the service road of Mopac in 2222. So I can only imagine if you want to take a look. I don't know if we can take that full screen TxDOT shot, then you can see how it impacts traffic, obviously where the lanes are closed, but then also on the opposite side. So our TxDOT cameras here at 183 and Lamar, the TxDOT team behind the scenes are who is moving these cameras, and they are doing a great job. I know so many people watching as they go. So many motorcycle police officers here as part of this procession. And then in just a moment, you will see the vehicle that is carrying the casket. So many people involved on as far as paying respects here. But here comes that vehicle, 183 in Lamar right now in North Austin. They're going to take from here southbound 35 and then exit there for their drive past Austin Police Headquarters. Then they will go down 6th Street, many of the businesses honoring Officer Pastore. They will make their way towards the Capitol to make a drive by the Capitol, and then get back onto I-35, make their way southbound 35 to eastbound 71, and then southbound 130 to Circuit of the Americas. So it is by no means a fast process. It takes time. There's many emergency officials involved in closing the roadways, and you can see it has an impact on traffic in both directions. So that's what you're looking at right now, 183 in Lamar. They are moments from getting onto southbound 35. You guys let me know anytime you want to take the TxDOT camera, anytime you want me to check in and let you know where they are. I'm happy to do that.
And as you mentioned, you see Officer Pastore and his casket draped in the American flag in the back of the SWAT's Bearcat. His final time in that SWAT Bearcat, so many times he responded to help people in his career at the Austin Police Department, going through and climbing through the ladder with SWAT, which is a very elite group. And for those of you who don't know at home, Austin Police SWAT is superior. They've won so many awards. They take this so seriously. Whenever there is a call, they run into that danger without thinking. When we were talking to some of his fellow police officers who were on scene that night, they said that Officer Pastore, he did what he does. He came and he got the call, and he had a big smile on his face because he was doing what he loved, gave them big hugs, and put on his gear, and then went in there, Jennifer, and he never came out.
Yeah, and something that it says in his obituary was the fact that this was his dream. He was fulfilling a dream just to be on the SWAT team. And out of everything also that he did in his career, it says that he was most proud of his service in the Honor Guard for the Seminole tribe in Florida and with APD. And it seems like everyone who knew him as someone who was extremely loyal, who was so protective of not only his family, not only his sisters that we talk about, his mother, his father, his stepsons, but also the community, strangers he had never even met, fiercely protective of them, doing his job, fulfilling his dream, and making sure that he kept us all safe.
People describe him as just the kind of officer that you want patrolling your city. I was talking to Austin Police Chief Art Acevedo, or Police Chief a while ago, and he was the police chief who was here when the officer died in the line of duty, Jaime Padron, more than a decade ago. Forgive me of my memory. But he was telling me that he was actually Chief Acevedo was in town the weekend that Officer Pastore was killed. And I thought that was just so strange. But Acevedo, who's a chief in Colorado, he comes down and he visits very often. Yeah. But he was telling me that he did talk to Chief Henderson, and you know, he told her that he knows how she feels. And this is Chief Henderson's first time, you know, with an officer, a fallen officer. She has been with the police department for a very long time. And just knowing her, she's a tough, tough woman who has gone through so much to get to where she is. So that day, Jen, when I saw that she was giving the press conference and she broke down and she cried, it was really gives you an idea of just the family they have.
Yeah, exactly. And many of us, you know, we have family in law enforcement or the military, and that's the second family. They are so close, they have such a tight bond, and so losing one of their own is beyond devastating, and they're there rallying around each other. We know, again, along the parade route, on different streets across the city of Austin, we will see people from the community, people who didn't know Officer Pastore, but they're just there to pay their respects and to help really rally behind and support. And there we see them now just paying their respects and their support now for the officers.
Saluting him as he passes by on the side of the road. They are there saluting him on his final patrol, saluting his family, because as we've talked about behind the scenes here, it is a family of first responders and of military members. You know, just talking to you and Kristen, you know, we know the feeling of the sacrifice that the entire family makes, because we come from those lines as well. But as we see them saluting and saying goodbye, if you are wondering, if you are so inclined and touched to do the same thing, can we pull up your mic, Erica, and give us an idea of where the procession is in case somebody does have somebody on the side of the road or on that area who maybe wants to pull over? Yeah,
this is at I-35 and 56th Street. So yeah, we saw right there at that intersection of 290 several officers, and it looks like a driver. Nick Bannon and I are back here watching this route, had gotten off, and there you go, beautiful shot of the bridge there. I believe that might be 51st. Let me move the TxDOT camera to 51st so we can see what view that gives us now. It's coming from another angle, so there is, you know, people will line the bridges along I-35 and salute Officer Pastore, you know, paying this ultimate sacrifice as he was protecting citizens of Austin. So that's where we are now, 51st and 35. So from here, I believe they're taking that exit right around 8th and 11th Street, so they can pass by APD headquarters, where we have, you know, J.Lo Washington reporting live. You see someone else, a motorcycle officer who's pulled over there at that intersection to block traffic and offering his salute as well. So They're about to hit right by the upper and lower deck split. Let me see my next camera I have available. It's at Clarkson, so right by airport. And there we go. So it looks like they are taking the lower deck of southbound 35, where they will be making their way through the downtown corridor, passing APD headquarters, turning onto 6th Street, where many of the businesses have changed their flags to honor Officer Pastore. They'll be making their way Congress to 11th Street so they can pass by the Capitol. They'll get back onto the interstate there at 11th and continue on, making their way to Circuit of the Americas. So they will take southbound 35 to 71, headed eastbound towards the airport through Del Valley. They'll take southbound 130 and then making that exit for Circuit of the Americas for the funeral, which takes place at 11 a.m. at the amphitheater there at Coda. The next TxDOT camera I'm going to have to offer you is the one at 11th Street. TxDOT, the crew, I don't know if they're listening or following along as well. I know they have a lot of cameras they watch, but they have done an incredible job as they follow along this procession. This is the TxDOT camera at I-35 and 11th. You see fire, you see emergency officials, and perhaps even just one citizen's car there waiting for the procession to pass by 11th and I-35. So pretty incredible to see how many people showed up. I have not, once we get a little bit further and we have a moment, I can back up the TxDOT cameras to see how far this expands. But obviously traffic delays associated with this in both directions, but just be mindful of the significance of this moment, and say a thank you to those that protect and serve.
All right, Erica, thank you so much for that. Of course, we'll check in with you in just a few moments. We're getting a live look now at the headquarters of the Austin Police Department, and you can see the cadets are lined up there. Jayla Washington is there for us this morning. And Sally, there was a memorial that was placed there right after this happened, and it is growing. Many people going there, putting flowers there, cards there, strangers, loved ones, community members paying their respect to Officer Pastore and really rallying behind the Austin Police Department as they deal with this loss. With you, Sally, I just want to go back to 2012. You were here when Officer Jaime Padron, and there was a procession for him. Mm-hmm. Is this looking similar to that time?
Yes, eerily so. I was here. It actually happened in the morning when he passed away, Officer Jaime Padron. And I remember walking into the newsroom and our producer at the time, Phil Robb, saying, "Get your stuff, you're going to go on air. Police officer was just shot and killed." And throughout the morning, we had learned these developments, and we had learned about it was Officer Padron. And it was the moment, I think, that really sank into so many people when we were live on air that day, is the police officers who were lining the street outside of the Walmart where the officer had been shot and killed, lining the streets as his body is carried out of that, and the final salute that they give him. And it was a very deep moment to take in, and I think one that you don't forget. So for me, when I woke up on that Saturday to these texts from police officers, and let me just say that I know many of them because I've been here for so long, and I covered the police beat for so long, telling me that an officer had been shot and killed. And so I knew, the next thing that's going to happen is this officer is going to be taken out of that scene, and the police officers are going to line the route with such dignity, Jen. I think that's what really is also something that is so heavy about it, is that they know. They know that something like this can happen to them, and yet they do it over and over again. And to see these cadets who are lined right now right side of the Austin Police Department headquarters, these are cadets who know this is a job that they are applying for and a job that they are voluntarily taking, and to see that they can one day not go home to their family and still do it is so much respect at the highest level.
Absolutely. And we know that law enforcement really from across the country, they are here in Austin, Texas, showing support to their brothers, their family. Right now, Sally, I know just leading up to this day, you've spoken to several people within the Austin Police Department. What are they doing now? What's going through their mind? How did they prepare for something that you can't really prepare for in the grief?
You know, it was, and I do have to say there were 2 other instances that happened within 24 hours that they lost 2 other members of their family. So they cannot take any more pain or hurt right now. They are suffering and they are struggling. I know some of the officers who are escorting Officer Pastore's body right now, and they're right now doing their job.
Yeah.
They are doing what they need to do to honor their fallen police officer, and they are arriving right now at the Austin Police Department headquarters. We're outside. You talked about, Jen, that growing memorial. Outside of the Austin Police Department headquarters, where Officer Pastore would go to if there was a 911 call. This is where your SWAT team gathers. They get together their game plan and they roll out. And now he's being right there, driven by his place, his family, work family.
Yeah.
And Jayla is live for us right there on the ground to give us an idea of what's happening.
Hey, Sally. Just extremely emotional out here right now as we watch the casket of Officer Jorge Pastore pass by the back of that SWAT truck. The cadets, you see them lined up on the street, and as you mentioned, Sally, just so much honor and respect as this is such a sad and heavy day. This procession, so many vehicles involved, so many people from various law enforcement agencies involved as well. I can tell you out here right now, you've got not only the cadets, but up there on the plaza, you've got employees of the Austin Police Department paying their respects, phones out, recording what's going on right now, taking it all in. Everyone just silent. A very grim moment for our city right now. I was speaking to a woman out here earlier today who just felt like she needed to stop by to pay her respects. She was telling me she's got family, involved in law enforcement, and absolutely cannot imagine something like this happening to one of her relatives. So she's out here along with other community members. There's a woman out here I see holding a sign. And again, as we watch these vehicles pass through, you see the cadets saluting, standing tall, honoring Officer Pastore for his service. Right now, you can see the cadets are getting ready to march along the sidewalk in front of the headquarters, lowering those salutes. One final salute to Officer Pastore. It's just really striking being out here in this moment, just seeing how many people are affected and how heavy and sad this is. Officer Pastore was brave. He was loved by so many. I know we spoke with one of the members from the Austin Police Association earlier this week who, just mentioned how much this truly impacts law enforcement, but, there's solace in knowing they are going to be continuing on his legacy and fighting the good fight, because that's what he did. Michael Bullock with the Austin Police Association, he actually got to hug Officer Pastore before he went into the home where he ultimately did not come back out, and he said that he went in with a smile. It's what he loved to do. He loved serving his community, and he did so with dignity, and he certainly has everyone's respect.
And right now, again, that was our Jayla Washington. She is live for us at the Austin Police Department headquarters, and you can see that procession is going by there now. We see several community members. They're on the sidewalks. They are up by APD headquarters, and they have their signs. They are there saluting Officer Pastore as he takes that final ride all the way to Coda for his funeral, where people from all across our nation are coming here to Austin to salute him. And Sally, I see those SWAT vehicles, and you just, you know, you can't help but to think about someone who was living their dream. They were doing what they loved.
He did. He
sacrificed.
Yes, from everybody that we've talked to who knew him, he loved doing this. He loved serving, whether it was serving in the medics in Florida, as you mentioned, in the military, or within the Austin Police Department. And I shared with you and our viewers, Jen, at the top of our coverage, some of the things that his fellow officers had been saying about him, just the kind of officer you want to be patrolling your city to keep you safe. But an officer who has since retired told me that he still has a lot of friends who work at the Austin Police Department. But he was telling me that Officer Pastore, when he heard what he has tattooed on his chest, gave him chills. And I asked if I could share it, because I know it's a very personal thing. And he said yes, and you know, you can share it and let people know, because I think it really puts things in perspective. Officer Pastore had the words, "Protect my brothers, everyone goes home." Wow. On his body. That was the remembrance that he has for so many people, protecting them, protecting others. And you know, no doubt there are so many people who are struggling right now. I think maybe obviously his family, but it's his brothers and sisters, I think, within SWAT too, that are also really hurting right now. There was another police officer who was injured that morning on Saturday. That police officer was shot, taken to the hospital, and is home recovering. Not sure if that police officer is going to be at this funeral, but so many people are going to be at this funeral. I mean, Coda holds thousands of people.
Yeah. And like I said, I mean, you see the community members in this shot, and I don't know if we can zoom into that memorial, but Sally, you see that there. That has been up there all week. It continues to grow. There are flowers there on the ground. You can see that picture of Officer Pastore, and you know, you talk about his family, of course, his brothers and sisters on the police force. But we talk about the hurt of the community as well. Many people who did not know him, but they were so grateful for the sacrifice that he made. He had a life dedicated to service.
He did.
EMT, you said, firefighter.
Such an inspiring person. And what I thought was really interesting too, when you're at home and you're listening to this police officer who was just, first of all, he was so young, because just listening to all of his accomplishments, I thought, wow, he's young. He's also only been with the police department here in Austin for less than 4 years, but so accomplished in that regard that he was able to get so much respect from his fellow police officers. You know, he came to Austin, Jen, as you were talking about, because he wanted to do more, right? He worked with the medics in Florida. He worked with them and then came over here because he wanted to do more and he wanted to help. And he has family members who respect him and still do so much for everything he did. Our producer was telling us in our ear to describe some of the things that we're seeing as far as the memorial. And you can see, I'm sorry that we're not zooming in right now, as you mentioned, Jen, but there are words of encouragement for the SWAT as they too have to go to work every single day. Just yesterday, there was another SWAT call, and they were out there doing what they have to do.
And for you, Sally, obviously you said you've covered the police beat for several years. And you have a sense of what it takes day in and day out for these officers to do what they do. I think we don't always know everything that's involved in their jobs, but it's not just situations like this. They go in the face of danger every single day.
They do. I think that maybe that connection I have with them is because my father was in the military. He died active duty, so I think that it's, you know, that connection of family, you know, that we talk about. But yes, and Jaylee was talking to somebody who had who was stopped at APD headquarters not too long ago, and he said, you know, just the simple thank you. You know, I think that sometimes we forget that you know, there's so much going on in this world, and it is so heavy. But these police officers, to think they put on this uniform and this badge, and they say goodbye to their wives and goodbye to their kids, and they do not know if they're going home. I think about Kim, his wife, and the phone call that she got that morning. I think about his sisters, one who was in Spain, had to be flown in for the funeral. I think about all those things that the family goes through, because when you are a family of a first responder, of a police officer, you go through that with them. You know, you are right there with them when this happens, and you are right there to see the kind of family that they're surrounded with. And it's beautiful to see all of the police officers who came from all over the state to say goodbye.
Yeah, and the support that they have. And right now, again, we're taking that live look outside of APD headquarters. Actually, this is the Capitol right now. We're looking at the Capitol. And Sally, you can see, wow. Let's just take a moment and look at every person who came out there with their signs as that procession goes by. They have signs there, community members, and we know many of them did not know Officer Pastore, but they are there. They're supporting him, his family, the Austin Police Department. And we'll see scenes like that as this procession, Sally, goes through the city of Austin and heads to Dakota.
You can see traffic that has started to build up in some parts of Central Texas, as I'm still taken aback by that live picture, I'm sorry, of just people who are saying their goodbye. What can we expect when we see the officer, fallen officer, and his family arrive at the Circuit of the Americas? Is a even bigger outpouring of love and support. This is an amphitheater that holds tens of thousands of people. This was the first time I've ever seen an officer's funeral services held at an amphitheater, the Circuit of the Americas. I was asking, you know, Jen, you were asking me some of the things that may happen. So I believe at the funeral service, what has happened in the past is we've had the opportunity to listen to family members and to police officers talk about the fallen officer and give you an idea of the person who wore the badge and the person behind the badge. And I was asking a friend of mine not too long ago, you know, tell me, you know, what I could expect from this. He's out there and he said, you know, the most gut-wrenching thing that you're going to see. And I said, well, I think I'm seeing it. And he said, the most gut-wrenching thing that you're going to see is his final call. So that happens when dispatcher gets on and says his number, badge number, and there's silence on the other end. Nobody answers. Nobody answers that call. But you better believe that his brothers and sisters will always answer the call. They are together in solidarity. And I think this makes them a stronger force, a stronger team. And I am not, I can only tell you just from talking to those who do wear the badge that they do hope that the support that you're seeing today continues.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're taking a look now. We believe this is 11th Street right now that we're looking at. It's in the bigger picture there on the left side of the screen. And if we zoomed out a little bit, you can't see it now, but we did see several neighbors who are in that area. They're there, they're watching the procession, and really their presence just being there. You see all of the people who are at the Capitol, the people who were at the Austin Police Department headquarters, being there, saluting Officer Pastore and supporting his family as they go through this and as they head now to CODA. We do want to check in with Erica Brennis. She is tracking our roads right now. So Erica, can you just give us the latest on what we're seeing on the roads as that procession heads to CODA?
Yeah, definitely. So I do know that the front of the procession and the casket has made its way back onto I-35. This is a live shot from our TxDOT camera at Holly. They have not quite made it to Riverside Drive, but I think there they go. I knew any moment they'd be making it there. So those motorcycle police officers are in the very lead of this procession. But just something to know as you look back from any of our other angles on 11th by the Capitol, this is miles and miles. There goes the casket right now here from our TxDOT camera at Riverside Drive and I-35, although I don't think that's pulled up within the boxes that you have access to. So at Riverside Drive and I-35, that is where the front of this procession is, but it spans this route miles and miles and miles back. From here, they will be going southbound 35, taking the exit for Ben White 71, headed towards the airport, and then making their way past the airport onto southbound SH 130 to Circuit of the Americas. At last check, I did see that the procession was still up on North 183. I can see if we can get confirmation about that. Let me move the TxDOT camera right quick so I can just confirm. The traffic impact is significant, as you can imagine. Extremely heavy delays are still in place on southbound 183 in North Austin, southbound Mopac in North Austin, southbound 35 in North Austin, and now it's going to be making its way down 71. So the same thing. And as you can see, look at the other side of I-35, and that's backed up as well as a result for this traffic. So the next moment, the next route you're going to see again is the exit off of I-35. Let me pull up the Montopolis camera to see, and I keep kind of looking to see if you guys are seeing it, but if we want to pull up the TxDOT cameras, that way viewers could see it as well. But at 290 or 71 in Montopolis, I'm pulling up that TxDOT camera, just scanning our list to see if they've made it there quite yet. But you'll see that eastbound 71 is shut down. So that's where they are right now, almost making their way to 71. We're watching this one closely, and obviously the significant impact of traffic it is having. But hopefully you are able to adjust your morning and make accommodations as we pay our respects to Officer Padron.
As you were talking about, Erica, so many people gathering to say goodbye, those who knew him and those who did not know him. Jayla, who are you talking to over at APD headquarters?
Hey, Sally. So I've been speaking with officers, retired officers, and there are people who have just kind of lined the streets showing up to watch this procession as it continues to pass by. Joining me now is one of these ladies who's been standing out here. What's your name, ma'am?
Christy Davidson.
Okay, Christy, what's going through your head as you're watching this procession pass by? Why did you want to come out here today?
Lots of sadness. Yeah, my husband is a police officer with APD, and it's just a really sad time, what they're going through right now, and it's just hard to watch, really hard to watch. Lots of sadness, but I love seeing the support of everybody that's coming out from all of the different departments. But yeah, just broken heart for the city, for the department, and for the citizens that live here.
Being the fact that your husband is an APD police officer, we're standing right here in front of the headquarters, probably where your husband has passed through before. Does this make it more personal for you as you watch this?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you can't help but wonder what the family is going through, and every time you see something like this happening in the news anywhere, it's scary. It's very scary, but we live in very scary times, and it's something that police officers, they put on that uniform every day to go out there and protect the community, and they're committed to it, and it's a very difficult job, and this right here is just an absolute sign of how challenging and how hard it is.
I can tell you're really emotional just talking about this.
It's very emotional to watch. I mean, I don't know how you can't get emotional looking at this. I mean, such a young officer passing away so early under, just circumstances that no police officer ever wants to be under. But that's what they That's what they put on the uniform to do every day, and you don't hear them complaining about it. They get up, they do it, and it's to serve and protect the community, and it's a very, very respected job in my opinion.
Thank you so much for being out here today and chatting with us. Appreciate it. So, you know, neighbors like her who are out here, this is very personal for her and others. Again, there are employees up there on the plaza, if Tim, we can pan around to show that, who have been just watching this entire procession as it passes by. This procession, by the way, here in front of APD headquarters, we've been seeing these vehicles pass by for the last 10, 15 minutes or so, which just speaks to how large of a procession this is. I've seen officers from Bastrop, you know, all across Texas, just a part of this, paying their respects. Very emotional for current and former police officers. A retired officer who I was speaking to just mentioned, you know, he's been a part of these processions before, and, you know, one is too many. So extremely emotional. Of course, we will be out here. We've got team coverage. Sally and Jennifer, I'll send it back to you in studio.
All right, Jayla Washington, thank you so much. You know, it's heartbreaking to hear from the woman who Jayla just interviewed. Her husband is an Austin police officer. She knows what it feels like every time they say goodbye. She doesn't know if she will see her husband again, and so the emotions that she is feeling, you can feel that. And right now, we had a shot from the Capitol, and we saw children out there, Sally. Yeah. They were holding their signs, paying again their respects to Officer Pastore, and just it's amazing to see the support of the community at this time.
It's beautiful to see, especially since when we look at Officer, look, there was those children holding the sign, and forgive me that I cannot see exactly what their sign reads, but I know it says Cathedral St. Michael, saying goodbye to Officer Pastore. And you know how kids are always just so fascinated when they see a police officer. It's always, you know, so nice to see these children who are able to be out there and to say goodbye. The first Austin police officer to die in the line of duty in more than a decade. And this is something that doesn't happen in Austin. When it does, you see the outpouring of support that you are seeing today. We are expecting thousands of people to come into Austin to say goodbye to Officer Pastore. And when I'm looking at these children, Jen, I'm reminded of how many children he worked with as a martial arts instructor.
Yes, and they even had Champions for Life. Him and his wife, Kim, they opened that up, and he mentored and taught hundreds of children during the course of his life. And something that resonated with me was many of them, Sally, considered him a real life hero, a superhero. And they said, quote, they aspired to be like Mr. Jorge.
Mr. Jorge. I love that. We were talking about how they call him Mr. Jorge. His maybe friends and family call him by George. And just out of respect, I'll call him Officer Jorge Pastore, because I sadly did not have the pleasure of knowing him as so many people close to him had. Got to know him and were able to call him by the name of George. Just a really stand-up guy, they would describe him as.
Yes.
You know, which I always love to hear, because we don't always get to know the police officer behind the badge. I mean, we know that they sacrifice, you know, their time, their family time as well, to go and do their job, but to find out things that they love to do. And what he loved to do was to mentor.
And which is amazing. And something, you know, again, I have his obituary here. I've been looking through it. But Sally, you have spoken to people who worked directly with him. They were friends with him. You talked about the tattoo that he had. What did they say about the type of man he was?
There was not a person that could tell you something bad about him. Can you say that for a lot of people, you know? There's not a person who could say something bad about him. We have, whenever something like this happens, we always look at every angle. We look at everything, you know, and we looked at Officer Pastore because we wanted to learn more about him. And our team looked at his record with, it's not CLEAT, it's TCLO. Is it TCLO? It's the state organization that police officers go through in order to get the training that they need and the certification that they need to have the badge, basically. So what that group was telling us is that he went through, I believe, 400 hours of training to become the SWAT team member that he became when he died. So he went through so much training to do what he was doing and live the dream that he had wanted to for so long. And I think if anything, that is comfort to these police officer friends that I have who say, you know, he died doing what he wanted to do. Like he went in there and he had trained so much to do these and successfully time after time after time. I mean, you never know what's going to happen when you go in there. You never know.
You never know. And just like you said, he came from Florida and he came to Austin because he wanted to do more. He had already done so much, but he wanted to do more. He has dedicated his life. He dedicated his life to service. And we do want to look again at the traffic impacts. We are tracking everything for you all at home who are watching. And we just appreciate you for staying with us, for paying your respects to Officer Pastore and his family. So if we can now get a check of the weather. Kristen, I know earlier visibility was a concern, but what are we seeing now in terms of weather?
Right, our visibility has improved significantly. So earlier this morning we had quite a bit of dense fog over the Austin metro, but as you can see from our pictures across the entire city, that fog has dissipated. Some still quite cloudy up top. Temperatures are in the 50s, but not dealing with wet roadways. All attention is on honoring Officer Jorge Pastore. And I know y'all have been talking a lot about the fact that it impacts everybody, whether or not you knew him personally or not. This is a member of our community. This is a family member. It's hard. It's hard for the whole community. Erica?
Kristen, everyone back here can completely relate to those emotions as we're looking live here at 71 and Riverside Drive at the traffic. And just moments ago, hopefully we can look at it live. I don't know if we're able to go ahead and take that, but people are lining the overpasses. They're lining the service road, paying their respects. You can see it there. I don't know if how easy it is to switch over to TxDOT, but there we go on the right side of your screen. There's people pulled over on 71. There's people pulled over on the service road. There's people on the bridges and just paying their respects to Officer Pastore. Right now that you see the casket making its way on eastbound 71. You can see the TxDOT team zooming in to give you a better shot. So this, you know, and you see just from the perspective back in downtown on the left side of your screen, how many just miles and miles and miles of emergency officials still just pouring by the Capitol. And then we've got the procession over here at 71 and Riverside making its way, getting closer and closer to the airport. So that's what you're looking at right now, this live look, eastbound 71. The Riverside Drive camera zoomed in on that military vehicle carrying Pastore's casket right now. So you see on the other side, look at that on 71, the emergency officials who've gotten out that are blocking that traffic, saluting Officer Pastore. So they are making their way right now past the airport. I'm going to move our TxDOT camera to the next option. This is at Presidential. And it looks like, actually I want to go back really fast so you can see what I saw just a moment ago. Hopefully, it takes a second to move these sometimes. There we go. So that's back at that Riverside Drive camera from 71. I was saying that there's officers lining the bridges. There's citizens lining the bridges, lining the service road, saluting that extremely long miles and miles and miles procession. So let me get the TxDOT camera at Presidential, which is right there by the airport, as that procession is making its way past the airport right now. So, you know, obviously there are significant traffic delays associated with this in both directions, but just want to make you aware of where we stand right now as they make their way to Circuit of the Americas. At 11 a.m. today, there will be a funeral, a service there at the amphitheater. Many people expected there. I think Sally has told me it holds 14,000, I believe. So we will be watching that for you. You can see this procession is about to make its way right past the airport. It's probably there at Spirit of Texas Drive right now. The TxDOT camera at Spirit of Texas is currently not working. So they're making their way eastbound here by the airport. They'll pass FM 973. They'll get onto southbound SH 130. They'll exit there FM 812. We do have TxDOT cameras on SH 130 that we're monitoring for you as well. So here they come down eastbound 71 right there at the airport at Presidential Boulevard. The motorcycle police officers leading this procession, and then comes the Army vehicle that is carrying Officer Pastore's casket, and family not far behind, obviously. But it's been an emotional day, obviously, for those who knew and loved Officer Pastore. But, you know, anytime you see the folks who are honoring an officer, it's just a moment to reflect and how lucky we are that we do have folks that put their life on the line to protect and serve, and we're eternally grateful. So the TxDOT team behind the scenes zooming out so you can see as they pass here at 71 and Presidential Boulevard headed eastbound towards SH 130. We can send things back to Sally, Jen. We're having team coverage, of course, as you've seen this morning, to bring you this procession.
Yes, let's go ahead and reset, because it is 9:10 this morning, and if you are just joining us here on KXAN, we are interrupting programming to bring you the special report of fallen police officer Jorge Pastore and the funeral procession that has started. It started over in North Austin as it continues through downtown Austin, East Austin, and over to the Circuit of the Americas for funeral services that will be held at the amphitheater that does hold a lot of people, because if you could tell by this procession, that's how much he was loved. That's how many lives he has touched, whether he knew them or not. Police officers from all over the country are here. Jen, I was telling you how Police Chief Acevedo is also here, and he was our police chief years ago, before Officer Pastore served with APD, but he was visiting Austin last weekend when this happened. And he was telling me that he was here and he was visiting Austin, and he was, reached out to Chief Henderson, which was not, I don't even think she was an assistant chief under Chief Acevedo, but she has been with the department for a very long time. Very, very, very well respected and well liked, and just as a tough woman who has gotten to that position fighting. Gone through so much adversity to get to in that position, and he just gave her some advice, of how to deal with this, because he dealt with this that decade ago when we saw the Austin police officer Jaime Padron, who passed away, and now this police officer, Officer Jorge Pastore, who is being laid to rest later on today.
Okay. And and they are still, we know that procession still going past APD. We're giving you live looks from many different angles, Sally, across Austin as they make their way to CODA. Something you said earlier that we don't want to get lost is that we have to know the man behind the badge. Officer Pastore had a family. He had a wife. His wife's name was Kim. They loved traveling. They loved music. They loved staying active. And Sally, they had 2 dogs, Champ and Bella.
Sweet.
Yes, and most of all, it says they loved spending their quiet time together and just being with one another.
Just being with people who I've talked to who know Kim said that this was the love of her life. This was the love of her life, and yes, we can talk about his 400 hours with the SWAT team and how he, has been with APD for only less than 4 years, and was so respected and revered. But it's also that he was a husband. Yeah, he was a husband who was the love of the life of Kim, who is going to be at the Circuit of the Americas along with Officer Pastore's 2 sisters, one flown in from Spain, and they're going to be at the Circuit of the Americas with a salute from many people who will be there as well. Blake, you are, our reporter Blake Devine is out there at the Circuit of the Americas. You've been out there since 4:30 a.m. this morning. What can you tell us as far as what you're seeing now?
Yeah, Sally and Jen, we're here at Circuit of the Americas where the police procession is expected to arrive around 9:30, followed up by the funeral at 11 a.m. And just in the last hour, activity has really picked up. You've seen a lot of people showing up from all sorts of areas. We're actually going to whip the camera around and we're going to see just a big group of people kind of coming from a bus from Round Rock. But I saw some buses and cars from police from Oklahoma City, a lot of officers from all sorts of entities, first responders, and they're all going to be heading to the Germania Insurance Amphitheater, which can hold over 14,000 people. APD is planning to use the space to seat officers, city leaders, family members, along with other first responders and the public. Public visitation is going to take place from 9:30 till 11 a.m., and then the funeral is going to start at 11 a.m. So there's going to be a lot going on coming here, and we're going to expect that long line of cars to show up in just a few moments. So we'll have a good shot ready for you when that happens, and we're expecting it to kind of spur through the entire Circuit of the Americas and then obviously end up in the amphitheater. Sending it back to you in the studio.
Thank you so much for joining us with that report, Blake. Sally, you know, people from Williamson County are here, people from New Braunfels as well, but we're seeing people from all over the country, law enforcement, as well as family and friends who knew Officer Pastore. And I know that you've talked to many people within the Austin Police Department. This has to bring some sort of just solace to them, the fact that they have so many people from around the country here to support them in this time.
That's what they do. That's what they do, is, you know, what they would tell you is they support each other through these times. Yeah, you have police officers coming from Oklahoma that you talked about, you know, who are in Austin to say goodbye, not because they personally knew Jorge Pastore, but because they know that's their brother. That's their brother in blue. I thought it was really significant, Jen, too, in some of the live feeds that we've been showing you this morning. Some of the medics and EMS and the fire department will also be out there. And it's because of that bond, that family that first responders share. So some of that family that Officer Pastore had in Florida when he was a medic will be here in Austin to say goodbye and to remember him. And you'll see different kinds of traditions and salutes from these different first responders when they get to the Circuit of the Americas. And I'm not sure exactly the run of how this is all going to go down, but I do understand from previous coverage, sadly, fallen police officers that we've done, you will get to hear from family members who will speak. Sometimes they don't because it's obviously too difficult, but then you'll hear from the family members in blue, have stories to share and to tell. Sometimes there's laughter and there are a lot of tears. When Chief Acevedo was here to talk about Jaime Padron, the officer that passed away, was shot and killed more than a decade ago, I think that was really the first time I remember hearing from Chief Acevedo in a way that I had never heard from before. I'd covered so many press conferences of him, you know, talking toughly to the cameras, but him and showing his vulnerability. A lot of people even told him after that, man, you missed your calling. Ooh. You missed your calling, because that was a message. That was a celebration of life that you just gave for this fallen police officer. And I have no doubt that Chief Henderson is going to deliver that kind of energy, as solemn as this is and as heartbroken as she is. I think she's going to give you an idea and a sense of what a person this was.
Okay. And right now, Sally, we want to check back in. We know that they're clearing out of the Capitol. Again, these are rolling closures as they go through the city of Austin to the Circuit of the Americas. We do want to check in with Erica Brennis right now just to give us an idea as they clear out of the Capitol, as they head down the highways, what we're seeing now in terms of the traffic impact in our area.
Yeah, and I've got Nick Bannon back here with me also kind of monitoring cameras. He just was saying, hey, yeah, it's clear from the Capitol. But let me move our TxDOT camera. Right now, we're looking at SH 130 and Elroy Road, where we believe they will be passing. I am scrolling right now to show you at last glance that I was watching was FM 973 at 71. So it looks like they are off of Highway 71, making their way towards southbound 130. Let me pull up the SH 130 camera right there at 71. We don't have a shot of the southbound side. This is the northbound side of 130, but you can see off in the distance emergency officials. So let me now show you SH 130 at Elroy, because you have people lining. You have what looks like firefighters and EMS. Here we go, Elroy Road and SH 130. You can see the TxDOT camera tilting the camera to get the main lanes of SH 130 so you can see this procession. So they're getting very, very close to CODA for the funeral, for the service. But we once again saw emergency personnel lining the overpass right here at Elroy and 130, waiting for the procession to make its way to this intersection. So it's been an incredible morning, obviously, as many folks are part of this procession, but it is going to be wrapping up shortly. Hopefully, there was a lot of correspondence going on about the expected traffic impacts. We're seeing some relief as some of the lanes have been reopened back there, of course, back on Mopac, on 183, but we are still seeing extremely heavy delays on 35, on 71. So hopefully you got correspondence, you know, whether it was here with KXAN, from the airport, so you could plan accordingly for those delays associated with this procession. So we're watching this still for you as they start to make their way here on SH 130.
Thank you so much. And Sally, we're just getting word now, and I don't know if we can go back to where Blake Devine is at. He's at CODA currently, and we are seeing law enforcement officers walk into CODA. We know that they are preparing for the funeral right now. And Sally, you've spoken to many of them. You know what they are dealing with, the emotions they are dealing with right now, but they're rallying behind one another. They're going in there. We've seen officers from Round Rock. We've seen officers from Oklahoma, from Florida. And again, if you're just joining us, just to reiterate, Officer Jorge Pastore had a life of service.
A life of service.
Dedicated himself. Not only was he a police officer, he was a firefighter, he was a paramedic, and then a lieutenant. And SWAT was his dream. This was his passion. And like you said, you spoke to someone who said, Sally, that he was dying doing what he loved.
Doing what he loved. And you know, as you're watching at home, if you don't know too much about the Austin Police Department SWAT, these are the guys and girls who go out to the toughest calls. These are the officers that you call when somebody is in grave danger, or when they are just, the call is so intense that you need a specialist out there. Officer Pastore is right now in the casket with an American flag draped over him in a SWAT Bearcat. And that is a vehicle that he was on many times before, answering many calls, many 911 calls. This is a close group of officers. And you're looking pictures right now at officers and some other family and community members who are gathering to say goodbye at the Circuit of the Americas. Just if you've never been to the Circuit of the Americas, I can tell you it's a pretty big place. The amphitheaters where they have many major concerts in town. But it's also a trek to get to the amphitheater, Jen. So I think that when Blake was talking about the busload of different officers and different people who were there to pay respects, they're parked in the parking lots and then they walk over to the amphitheater, which is quite the walk unless they're able to get some kind of ride over there. But it's going to take some time for people to get inside into the amphitheater, which is outside, which of course we have been watching the weather very closely because we wanted to make sure it cooperated, and it seems like it is.
Yeah, we absolutely have, and we do want to get a check of the weather in a moment, but just to offer some perspective here, many of us, of course, we've been to events out at CODA. It's an open air space, 14,000 people, Sally. That's how many people that this place holds. So 14,000 people, 6,700 reserved seats there. And of course, there's that lawn area where it can hold many more guests there. And so they are obviously preparing for a very big crowd. Again, people around the nation. You even said that his sister had to be flown in from Spain to get here as well.
With the help of the community, with the fundraising that Cops for the charity was able to get and to help fly in different family members from all over to Austin to say goodbye, which was so needed, and a very big thank you to those of you who donated. I'm sure they would want us to pass along. Nick is here and he put up his microphone, and only because I know people might ask, Nick. Kristen did have to step away, and I know she wouldn't mind me telling you this because she did tell our viewers earlier that she is the daughter of a retired law enforcement officer. And so this sits very close to her. And she was trying to get across the message, and I hope that you could hear it in her voice at home, is that even if this does not impact you as somebody who is in a family with somebody who serves, this impacts you because you are in a community they serve.
Right. I mean, police, all sorts of emergency responders, they do their best at every hour of the day to serve us, even if we don't know they're doing something for us. And when, you know, you hear the wavering in Kristen's voice a little bit as a daughter of a police officer who's since been retired, you get touched a little bit more by seeing what we've been seeing here today. You brought up the weather. There has been a bit of fog out there. Luckily, visibility has generally been a mile or greater, which has given us the ability to use the tools at our disposal to be able to see and follow through this procession from where it began to where it will end. This is how it looks at the Circuit of the Americas right now. Still looking off in the distance, we think that's SH-130 right there. So they're going to get to SH-130, Elroy Road, and then follow that road there to get toward the Circuit of the Americas. But for right now, we think visibility is good enough. And certainly not too wet, just a little drizzly in a few spots for the people following the procession and paying their respects.
All right, Nick Bannon in for us, giving us a look at the weather outside as this procession makes its way to CODA. Sally, you've been talking to many people who are there, people who are headed there. The procession is headed again to CODA. You see the law enforcement officers going in there. Again, we talked about how large of a space this is. We've all been to, many of us have been to CODA, and we know that it holds 14,000 people. And so they are preparing for a big crowd, but a crowd who is supporting them from all across the nation. And what are you hearing from people who are there right now?
People who are there are waiting to go inside and they'll be able to sit down. As we mentioned, it is an outside venue, not what we've seen before in the past where we've seen venues at churches. This is a venue that can hold thousands of people. And I also think what strikes me about this venue, when I first heard it was going to be over at the Circuit of the Americas, is that this is a venue that you think of fun. You know, you go and you celebrate and you have a good time at concerts. I say fun, and you see a Ferris wheel right there in the background, because this is a place of joy where lots of people would go to enjoy that, to enjoy any kind of racing event, or to enjoy a concert. Today, it is the site of grief. It is the site where you're going to see an officer who was shot and killed in the line of duty protecting people who went into a home to try to rescue hostages and did so bravely. He and another police officer were shot. He did not survive. The officer who was shot, besides Officer Pastore, was taken to the hospital that day and has since been at home recovering. We have talked to different police officers, as you mentioned, Jen, and I want you to hear a little bit from one of them. This is Bino.
It's deeply heartbreaking, tragic. I was working the night the incident happened, and I was able to monitor everything on the radio. I was stuck on a separate call, submitting evidence, or else my partner and I would have been there. So just reliving what we were hearing on the radio, how the SWAT arrived, how they entered, just hearing that officers are down, needing medics immediately, and then urging to get him to the hospital, and then coming home to hear that he didn't make it. It's been a haunting and horrible experience. You know, he was loved by everyone. His character, you know, his actions. I had the pleasure of working with him in Henry Sector and served with him several times in downtown Area Command. And he just was a force to be reckoned with, because he was always energetic, ready to go, especially when policing is in a slump. Morale is down. But he was one that would lift the spirits and motivate people to go out and enforce the law and do work. So it's been tragic. And then I've had the pleasure of meeting his wife, and I met Officer Pastore through his wife. So it's just all around has been difficult for the family. For the men and women in blue, but we're also holding tight, and the community has been very supportive, and I appreciate that. We appreciate that. So it's gonna be a long road ahead of us, but this week we're gonna come together. We're gonna be there for the family. We're gonna be there for one another.
Certainly a long road ahead. That's Detective Bino Cadenas, and he is the chairman for Austin Cops for Charities. And Sally, you mentioned earlier what a critical role that group is playing in just helping Officer Pastore's family and his family who had to come from out of the country.
Yes, one of the first organizations I thought about us connecting with when we heard about Officer Pastore passing away is that this is a group of police officers who are not only family members through the badge and through the police department, but they care for each other as family members, and they care for their family members. So they were able to help with some of the donations. And Jen, so many people donated, really? Which was so amazing to hear. So many people donating to help Officer Pastore's family come in from different parts to Austin, so they can go ahead and say their final goodbyes, which I love hearing, because we've talked about how there's so much going on, and I know that maybe your mind is on other things right now. Thanksgiving is on Thursday. Yeah. You know, we've talked about that, and you know, it's hard to do other things. Maybe you're so busy, but to know so many people donated to help an officer that they didn't know, an officer whose body is about to pass, as you can see right there on the cameras, to the Circuit of the Americas, where we'll have the funeral services that will begin shortly from now.
Yeah, and Nick Bannon just told us they are, of course, arriving there. We've seen law enforcement go into CODA, a very large space. And for perspective again, Sally, you said you've never seen a service even held there for, anyone who of this level.
No. And I think it's a sign that this is this family has grown. Only a sign just to the family that has grown of a family of blue. I think that throughout the years, the police officers that we have seen all over this country have seen them come closer and closer together. So I think that the reason they are having it at the Circuit of the Americas, the amphitheater, is because they are seeing so much more support from their brothers and who are coming into town to say goodbye. One of those police officers, as we talked about, was I'm sorry, Jen, I'm getting different texts from people who are at the services. Chief Art Acevedo, who is a police officer, a chief over in Parkland in Colorado, and he is here for the funeral services as well, so that he can say goodbye to an officer that he did not know, but an officer that he knows had so much passion for their job, dying, doing what they loved, and accomplishing a goal the way that he did, to serve on a SWAT team that is so tight and is so elite.
Yes, and that's what you said. I mean, the Austin Police Department SWAT team has been recognized, nationally recognized for the work that they've done. And Officer Pastore came here because he wanted to do more. And he had done a lot in his career. He was a firefighter, a paramedic, and then rose to the ranks as a lieutenant. And he was very passionate about what he did, but not just with his job in law enforcement, but also he was a mentor to many children. Him and his wife, they had a martial arts studio, Champions for Life, and he mentored hundreds of children during that time, during the course of his life. He taught them, and it says that he was a superhero to them. They knew him as Mr. Jorge, but he was their real-life superhero.
What a joy to have known him. What a joy that those kids can say their stories and the memories that they have of an officer who was taken too soon from the love of his life. Kim talked about how that is the love of her life from friends that I've talked to. And then also one of his family members had shared with me and showed me a video that one of their family members have made of his life that I'm not sure we're going to see it at the memorial service, but Jen, the service that is going to happen in just the next few minutes as we take a live look right now at the Circuit of the Americas, as you see the number of police officers who are leading the body of fallen Austin police officer Jorge Pastore. You see them one by one. They are going at a pace that is somber and a pace that makes you take in the moment. And if you don't take it in now, I guarantee you will take it in the next few seconds. When you see that SWAT Bearcat with its sirens on, in silence, the doors open, and you see Officer Pastore's body in the casket, draped in the American flag. And now that it's closer to the Circuit of the Americas, you see some of the officers who are riding with him in the back.
And we just want to take a moment and let you watch this procession and pay your respects to Officer Pastore and his family. And Sally, we know those services will begin here shortly. Again, many community members lining that procession route, just showing the support that they have for Officer Pastore. You have spoken to people who are there right now, who are currently headed into CODA, and we will see thousands of people from not only here in the state of Texas, but around the country who are supporting him. In that procession, his wife, Kim, who was the love of his life, his two stepsons, his family that had to be flown in from across the world to be here in Austin, Texas, to remember the life of Officer Pastore. And we talk about, again, the man behind the badge. I mean, you see, again, the support there for him, but not only was he very active in a life of service to as a first responder and to the police department here in Austin as well as Florida. But also he was active in his community. He was a mentor, a teacher to so many children, a superhero to them, as we've said earlier. And you've heard from many people, and I know there might be a few people who are just joining us now. Something that is striking that you talked about was the tattoo that he has, he had.
Yeah, let me go ahead and pull that up. I don't want to get that correctly. I have a police officer friend who has since retired from the Austin Police Department, and we were talking, and he had something on Facebook he shared about Officer Pastore, and I said, Can I share that with our viewers? It's so touching. And this retired police officer is the toughest of the tough. I've never seen him cry. I've never, not that they're not human, but they are superhuman, that's for sure. But this police officer, since retired, said, I got chills when I read that Officer Pastore had this tattooed on his chest. Protect my brothers. Everyone goes home. Protect my brothers. Everyone goes home. You have to sit with that for a little bit when the words come out of my mouth, because it's still, they are protecting their brother, Jorge Pastore, as he goes home. Yeah.
And that final salute that they'll be giving him this afternoon. Again, you are taking a live look now at CODA as that procession makes its way there. Thousands of people heading there to honor, to remember, but also, Sally, to celebrate the life of Officer Pastore and everything he did, not only here in the Austin community. Again, he was here a little less than 4 years, but the service that he has really committed his life to around the country and going in the face of danger. And again, I think that it's very important that we reiterate the fact that he did die doing what he loved, according to the people that who you spoke with.
Yeah, and I struggle too with just talking a lot about that night in September, that Saturday morning, because I know that this is a time that we want to celebrate how he lived and his life. But it is not lost on us that this was an officer who was part of a SWAT situation where he was trying to go inside a home with hostages. The call came in as a very, very dangerous call without getting into the details, and you could read that on our website when you have time. But this was a very dangerous call that he went into to try to rescue 2 people. This was an officer who ran into danger. And I'm getting, as you mentioned, Jen, some friends of ours, of KXAN, and just of mine who knew him, and are just so thankful to say thank you for doing this, for airing this coverage live as you're watching with us here on KXAN and KXAN.com at 9:41, because it is often a job where they don't often get this kind of support.
Absolutely. And we're committed to just showing you this procession. Throughout the morning, we've shown you angles from across Austin as the procession began. And again, now it's ending in CODA. And we still have a few shots up of different places across Austin, and one APD headquarters. We see a growing memorial there. I still see a few people out there, again, paying their respects. Earlier, we saw views from the Capitol, and we saw many children out there. They were holding signs honoring the life of Officer Pastore. We saw many community members, again, knowing that they did not know Officer Pastore, but they want to support him, they want to support his family. And along this procession route, we've seen so many people, so many community members pulled off on the side of the road. Their hats are off. They are saluting Officer Pastore for his life of service. his life of dedication. And Sally, you have covered the police beat for years. And to dedicate your life to not only being a police officer, you're a firefighter, you are a paramedic, it takes a lot of grit, it takes a lot of courage to be a part of an esteemed group of individuals who they don't know if they're gonna come home at night.
Wasn't he a part of all three of those?
Yes, yes.
Not only was he a police officer, is my microphone going? I think it's because we're talking. I apologize. I'll let you talk about that.
Yeah, but no, like you said, you know, not only was he a part of the Austin Police Department for a little less than 4 years, but he had dedicated his life to service. And something that he was most proud of was his time in the Honor Guard for both the Seminole tribe, that was in Florida, as well as APD. But his dream told to us by so many people he worked with, was to be a member of SWAT. And prior to coming to Austin, he had served in so many different capacities as a first responder. But coming to Austin, he was truly fulfilling his dream of being in SWAT. And you see that procession now, again, going to CODA. Services will be starting here shortly. His wife, Kim, is in that procession. His two stepsons in that procession, his family who had to be flown in from different parts of the world to be here to honor Officer Pastore. And we know law enforcement from around the world, Sal, is here honoring him, community members there as well. But you were, finish what you were saying.
Yes. Going along those lines, that yes, it takes so much grit and guts, and I think the kind of courage that it takes to be a police officer, a medic, a firefighter. I don't think I've ever met anybody who's been all three. I wanted to share with you that we, and let me know, those of you in the back who can hear us, as far as the people you don't see on camera, I believe that they're also showing what will be shown at the memorial service, which are pictures that they're getting ready of Officer Pastore when he was serving, when he was, I believe, a little boy, and just give you an idea of kind of the celebration of life they're going to go through when they talk about him. Another friend of mine wanted me to say this, and I asked if I could share. He's also retired, but he told me, you know, thank you for your coverage of Officer Pastore's funeral. I remember George as a rookie. I was his region commander. He was always smiling, always happy to be serving the community. He will be missed, and I will never forget him. He's a retired Austin police officer who was an assistant police chief who was overseeing many officers, and for him to say, I remember him and I remember that smile. I think when you see that picture of him smiling, that's how a lot of people are going to remember him.
And we talked to so many officers, Sally, during the week. Obviously, you have a very close relationship to many of them, but during the past week, we've spoken to so many people, so many officers who knew Officer Pastore, and I really think the theme here that we're hearing is he had an infectious personality. People felt safe. They knew that he was going to protect them. Here is a billboard right here. I want to get to this quickly. This is Officer Pastore. It has his full name there. It has his date of birth and his date of death. And again, in a few moments, we will see people fill CODA to honor him and to honor his life and to honor the man, like you said, who had a smile that was so contagious. People remembering him as someone who fiercely loved those who were in his family, but also fiercely loved and protected all of the communities he served, not just here in Texas, but in different parts of the country.
And can you imagine just knowing him and being part of his family, to know, okay, you have been a medic and a firefighter and now a police officer, and now that's not enough. Now you want to be part of this elite team that goes into these dangerous calls. These are SWAT teams that are specially trained to handle crisis situations like the hostage situation that Officer Pastore responded to. Here is some of an explanation of what it's like.
The fact is that they have a massive adrenaline dumps. They have incredible blood pressures. And these are people that work out like athletes to be ready for this moment.
And that was the executive director of CLEAT, who you heard from there. Again, Sally, we're talking to so many people who knew Officer Pastore or who worked with him in some capacity. Many of them all saying the same thing. And like you said, people who you spoke to who are very close to him, they said, there's nothing bad we can say about him. He dedicated his life to serving others. He dedicated his life to also uplifting others. Again, a mentor, a teacher to so many people headed now there to CODA. As you can see, we're taking that live for you so you can see the procession as those services begin to start.
We have been live on air covering this special coverage of Officer Pastore and his final goodbye, our final goodbye as a community to him. We've been covering this since 8 o'clock this morning when the funeral procession started. Here we are at 9:49 and that funeral procession is still winding through the streets of Austin to give you an idea of how loved this officer was and how much support is pouring in from all over, from people who did not know him, but still are part of that blue family that know the dangers of putting on that police badge, going to work, and not knowing if you're going to come back to the love of your life or to your family or to your kids at night. But to volunteer to do that day in and day out, this is a special group of people that I think don't often feel thanked and respected. And from even the mayor of Austin, Mayor Watson, you know, talking to him about this as we did as you know, a news group here at KXAN, he said that he hopes the support continues for police officers and our department as they move forward. Erica, you have been covering the traffic angle of this since 4:30 this morning when people started to line up later at 7 a.m. What can you tell us as far as how far we've gone through as the last car makes it over there?
Yeah, I wanted to give a quick update because I was watching moments ago as the procession came to the end on Highway 71. So I can report that it is off of the main lanes of 71. And now you're looking at the tail end of the procession on SH 130 right there at the intersection of Elroy Road. Clearly, this is not over. And it does take quite some time to ease out those delays as the procession passes through and wraps up. But what you're looking at live right now is that procession on the main lanes of southbound SH 130 right near Elroy Road. Let me give you, just a couple of minutes ago, I was updating the team. I said, hey, everyone is off of 71, so let me show you how it looks at Presidential. So you can also kind of see that it just takes time for things to get moving again. And this was probably 10, 15 minutes ago once I saw it clear out from the intersection of Presidential and 71, so right there by the airport. So again, we've just seen miles and miles and miles of cars being part of this procession. Let me show you a quick look at I-35 just so you can kind of see what I mean, that there is still traffic around the Austin area that was associated with the closures because of the procession. This is a live look at I-35 and 6th where it's moving okay. We'll take a look at 56th Street. And, you know, as things clear out and the lanes reopen, the traffic does start flowing again. But obviously, when you have this big of a procession, it does have a big impact on traffic around the Austin area. Let's take a look at Mopac really quick at 2222. So back to normal flow for Friday at 9:51. But let's go back to SH 130 before I send it back over to Jen and Sally, just so you can see how things are looking there. And you know, as everyone is exiting to make their way over Dakota for the service, it really does become a traffic situation where these vehicles are trying to park and make their way to the parking lots and that sort of thing. So expect this to still take some time. It looks like here there are some motorcycle police officers. This might potentially be the end here at SH 130 in Elroy. If you're looking there on the right side of your screen, it takes some time for me to be able to confidently say that, just to see what other kind of vehicles are behind. But this might be the end of that procession here, there at Elroy, and then just give it some time, you know, as those vehicles file in and get parked and make their way to the service. Sally, Jen.
All right, Erica, thank you so much. And again, the funerals does start at 11, so we will see some traffic headed to CODA. As we know, so many people, many community organizations, community members, many who did not know Officer Pastore but want to show their support. They'll be there. But let's now get to Blake Devine. He is live for us at CODA this morning. And Blake, tell us what you're seeing. You've been there since 4:30, and I know that certainly a growing crowd there now. So what are you seeing?
Yeah, Jennifer and Sally, we're here at Circuit of the Americas, where a very long line of cars and motorcycles filled with first responders has pulled into Circuit of the Americas, pulling with it a fallen Austin police officer, Jorge Pastore, who died in the line of duty on Saturday. They're all going to be heading to the Germain Insurance Amphitheater, which is going to take place. That funeral service will take place around 11 a.m. Public visitation is going on from now until 11. The theater is outdoors. It's a giant space, 14,000 seats in total. There's going to be tons of first responders. We've seen a lot of people pulling up in the past hour or so, parking and walking over to the amphitheater. We've seen even some police officers from Oklahoma City, a lot of first responders, and then some family members as well. So it should be a pretty filled up spot, and we're going to have some live coverage over there during the funeral, which will take place at 11 a.m. But what's been incredible is for the past 10 or 15 minutes, the stream of cars and vehicles has continued to pull forward, and it still hasn't stopped at this moment. It's just more and more cars. I had been hearing from Erica that it had been almost a mile's worth of cars, and I'm telling you right now, it's pretty impressive. I mean, I would expect almost hundreds of cars to be participating in this procession this morning. Sending it back to you, Sally and Jen.
Blake, if you could still hear me, you are not too close to the amphitheater, but closer to the parking lots. Is there a track that these officers have to make to get to the site?
So yes, right now they're kind of on the side track, which is where a lot of the parking lots are for Circuit of the Americas. They're pulling up into the road, and I believe they're going to take a right and follow this track, which leads onto a pathway that's kind of in between the actual racetrack and where the amphitheater is. It's kind of near that Grand Plaza area. So that's where we're seeing them all kind of go up the road this morning.
And Blake, you have been out at the Circuit of the Americas covering other events for us, most recently the racing that happened out there. And Jen and I were talking about how when we hear about the Circuit of the Americas, we hear about fun and about you know, laughter and a celebration. But this is not that. This is one of a celebration of life, yes, but there are going to be a lot of tears out there later on today.
And Blake, right now, just behind you, we see, and I love how you reference just the steady stream of cars that we're seeing. Obviously, this is part of the procession, but after this procession ends, we will see many more cars come, because we know community members, they are coming out there for the funeral service that starts at 11. Again, visitation has started already, and we can see, I believe, in the, well, that's a driving shot in the top right corner of your screen, but we see they're driving towards CODA right now, I'm told, and we see law enforcement and people walking now across that bridge. We see a fire truck and an American flag right there as well. And again, we're seeing all of these different vehicles from first responders, because Officer Pastore had a career dedicated to all of these different entities.
I think when you hear about Officer Pastore, you would think this is a police officer who has been a police officer with the Austin Police Department for decades. He's he's a young police officer who's been with the Austin Police Department for less than 4 years, and to know the kind of mark he has made so far is telling. And you would hope comforting to the family members who are in this procession, hopefully able to look out the window and see what you're seeing on your screen of strangers who are pulled over to the side of the road to say goodbye to an officer they never met, to say goodbye to an officer who ran into situations as a member of SWAT to save people, to save others, somebody who was courageous and just somebody who was so well loved, and somebody who wore not only the Austin Police Department badge, but other badges that stem different kind of first responder departments.
Yeah, and you talk about, I love how you said, you bring up the word courageous, because he certainly was. The fact that he not only served in the police department, but he was a firefighter, a paramedic. And Sally, just in your coverage throughout the years of the police officers here in Austin, do we often see this where an officer was a firefighter, an officer was a paramedic?
I think it's very rare. I think it's very rare to see that about a person who wants to take on those 3 different challenges and a family to support them. I'm going to stop right here so you can take in this moment of Officer Pastore and his memorial service.
Uniformed officers! Out! All officers, fall out!
What you are seeing now is the end of the procession for Officer Jorge Pastore, and what you were seeing earlier was the beginning of visitation. And let me explain to you why we're not showing that right now. It's out of the respect of family who asked not to be shown on camera, and that is what we're doing. So if we see pictures of family members, of his wife, of his stepsons, of his sisters, we are honoring their wish to not show it. And that is our responsibility. And as touching as it was to see those few seconds of Officer Pastore's body draped in that American flag, and Jen, I think what touched me, and I think so many people watching, was the fire department gear that was right next to him, and the different things that you saw around his casket that made him not only Officer Pastore, but Jorge, George, the stepdad, the dad, yeah. the husband, the son, the brother.
Yeah, the brother, the son, the stepfather, the man who truly, truly dedicated his life to serving people in his community, wherever that was, if that was in Florida, if that was here in Texas. He had a life of service as a firefighter, a paramedic, and also a police officer. And we see that that procession now at CODA is slowly coming to an end. But Sally, as I said earlier, we know we'll see so many more cars streaming into CODA as people head there for the funeral service that starts at 11. And taking that in, the start of the visitation, that started at 9:30, but seeing that, taking that in, seeing the family members, we all know many of us will be with our family members for Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, Officer Pastore, his family, will be without their family member. Sorry.
You're feeling what a lot of us are feeling, especially at home. We are human, and I think that that's something that you often don't get to see, is that we are honoring a police officer who we know, because we cover every single day instances where police officers are called. Just yesterday, SWAT was called out to another incident. SWAT was called out to another incident. I thought, not again, not again. Here they go into the line of danger. And I think it's, Jen, it's because people at home see that this was, you mentioned, a servant. When you talk to a police officer, they will tell you that you need to have a servant's heart. You need to want to serve in this police force. He served in the fire department. He served as a medic. He served in the military. He served in the police department. What kind of person does that? This person, this superhero that you're seeing, that people have talked about as somebody who gave his life on the line, put it on the line every day. And yes, it is heartbreaking to think of what his wife, that phone call that she got in the middle of the night. You know what? It was probably the knock on the door that she got in the middle of the night, of them telling her that her husband was not going to be home, that he wasn't going to be home to celebrate Thanksgiving, to celebrate all the other milestones that this couple wanted to celebrate together. So yes, I think it's important that we bring you this coverage and that you know that we too are honoring Officer Jorge Pastore without it not being lost on us, the person he was behind the badge, because we can all relate to that person, the person that you love.
Absolutely. And right now we see, we're also seeing again the procession, but we see the growing memorial outside of APD headquarters. We do want to get to Erica Brenes. Erica, since early this morning, you have been tracking the traffic across our area. What are we seeing now in these different areas as the procession makes its way, is now at CODA?
Yeah, and right now, if you can believe it, for as long as we've been covering this, the procession actually is still exiting off of FM 812 at SH 130. You're looking live from our TxDOT camera. Now, what I want you to also notice is on the right side, southbound 130 back open to the flow of traffic. However, that exit right here, you're looking at the very tail end of the procession exiting at FM 812. So all of this traffic having to make its way to Circuit of the Americas, get itself parked and that sort of thing. So you see one remaining fire truck with its ladder up, paying respects to Officer Pastore there along that exit of FM 812 and SH 130. So I'm comfortable to report that SH 130 back open, Highway 71 back open, 35, 183 Mopac, just remaining traffic on FM 812 right there at SH 130. That is, from my end, from the TxDOT cameras perspective, the last camera I have available to show you. This is what it looks like at Circuit of the Americas. So it's going to take some time, you know, probably another 20, 30 minutes or so before all of that traffic that we've just been watching exit at FM 812 off of SH 130 make its way to the parking lots and get parked and situated. So I would assume everyone's going to make it there in time for the 11 a.m. start. But we wanted to update you on the traffic situation because I know it did have a big impact on traffic this morning.
Thank you, Erica. A familiar voice to those of you who may be watching at home. A familiar friend on the phone with us, Chief of Police Art Acevedo, Chief of Police in Colorado, but in town in Austin to honor and say goodbye to Officer Pastore. Chief, it's good to talk to you. I'm sorry under the circumstances again.
Well, good morning. Like I said, it's good to be here, but it's an honor to be here to honor our fallen officer and all the men and women of the Austin Police Department and Texas law enforcement.
We were talking earlier, you and I hope you don't mind me sharing this, you saying that you were in Austin last weekend when this happened. What can you tell us about it?
Well, woke up on that night. It's a horrible night where, you know, Austin PD lost a hero and had another one wounded, and to the horrible news, and started getting calls from some of my former officers. And just, you know, it brings you back to, I think all of us back to Jaime Padron and to colleagues that we've lost over the years. And it's just heart-wrenching, you know, a young man that gave his life and actually came to law enforcement after being in Florida and Parkland. And, but it speaks volumes to the commitment, the courage, the integrity of the men and women of the Austin Police Department. And I think what's most painful for me is that they have been so maligned by the critics. And unfortunately, you know, sometimes elected officials listen to the loud voices instead of the silent majority that absolutely support the Austin Police Department and their excellence that they bring each and every day. And I think that out of this tragedy, I hope what these men and women are seeing is that they have tremendous support from the community, that their sacrifice, their commitment, their service is noticed, it's appreciated, and somehow this tragedy will, I think, help heal this department and hopefully bring this community to the realization that they have a great organization with great men and women that deserve their support.
And Chief, I'm glad that you referenced that support. As we watch that procession go through parts of Austin, we saw so much support, so many community members, many of them who never met Officer Pastore were out there. Does this offer some solace to you as well as members of the police department in this devastating time of grief?
Yeah, I think that when a community comes out like it's coming out here, too often the critics, you know, that want to tear law enforcement down are the loudest voices that are heard. And as leaders, we always have to remind our officers that they have an amazing overwhelming amount of support. And I just think that for the officers to see the people come out, seeing on 6th Street the blue line flags going up, seeing people on the side of the road, school children, it is just heartwarming, and it helps heal the department and let's not forget the family that is in this procession. And I know there's some that probably don't like that, they had to be inconvenienced. But you know what? When a family loses an individual who took the courageous act of breaching a door and going into that hail of fire, you know what? A little inconvenience is not going to matter much in a lifetime. And so I'm just glad that this procession gives these officers an opportunity to see just how much they are appreciated and admired by the people of Austin, the people of Texas, and beyond.
Chief, what did you tell who is now Chief Henderson of the police department? You worked with her for many years when you were here in the Austin Police Department. What have you told her?
I'm proud of her. I mean, I actually texted her this morning. I said, do not text me back. But I'm a person of faith. I know she has a personal deep faith, and I told her, God put you here at this moment, at this time. He's with you today, and I'm really proud of her. I've known her for many, many years. I remember I made her my administrative lieutenant, and she's just one of them. She has a heart that is bigger than that big personality smile. If you know her, she'll hug you. Can't tell you how many glasses she's broken over the years in my pocket, in my breast pocket, because she will give you a hug that lets you know how much she loves and cares. And so, she was supposed to be here. This is not by chance. This is by design, and she has just done an amazing, amazing job representing and leading the men and women of the police department here in Austin.
And Chief, we hear the emotion in your voice, and it's not lost on us that you are taking time out to speak to us right now as you are in this procession. So we truly appreciate you for doing that. The funeral service starts at 11. Can you walk us through the rest of the day? Visitation at 9:30, then the funeral starts at 11.
Yeah, I mean, I went around. I was actually, and I went over on 35 and was able to get in front of the procession, and was able to actually stand on the 814 off ramp from the tollway, and I just got into the procession at the end. But the cars are still coming into the Circle of the Americas. There'll be a VIP room with some of the elected officials and the family will be in the room, and this is an opportunity for officers to come together, to close ranks from around the state and the country that are here, and an opportunity to show the criminal element that regardless of what they do to us, we will never cower, we'll never retreat, and we close ranks and stand with our community. And so what will happen after visitation is obviously we'll have the services, and then we will celebrate his life and his sacrifice, which is something that will help keep his memory alive. And we make a promise to our men and women and their families when they graduate from the academy as leaders that we will be there for them in the good times, and we'll be there for them in the bad times, and that we'll make sure they're never forgotten. And so that's one of the reasons I'm here. I was here for almost 10 years with these men and women. I think they're second to none. They're an amazing group of people, and no matter how loud the critics are, they still come to work each and every day, and they're willing to lay down their lives. And so it'll be a bittersweet day, bitter that we lost a hero, but the sweetness that comes out of it is that this is an event today that will help bring the organization together, the profession together, and the community closer to the men and women that serve them each and every day with the courage that was displayed last weekend and the courage that's displayed every day in Austin and throughout the country.
Chief, I was telling some of our viewers when we were starting this coverage that I think that's when I really started to get to know you as somebody who was vulnerable, because every time I interviewed you, such a tough guy talking about tough things, right? But when you were at Officer Jaime Padron's funeral, the vulnerability that came out. And talk to me just a little bit before I let you go of how, as a police chief, as you did, and no doubt that Chief Henderson will do, how you are still close with Jaime's daughters, and how Chief Henderson might be just as close now to Officer Pastore's family.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's hard to believe that Jaime's daughters, the older ones, the older one now is in college. The youngest one, that was just a little girl. I mean, they're both little girls. Graduates in May. They're in Colorado, Springs. I actually visit them every once in a while, and I'll be there at her graduation in May. And I got to go to we beat her for her prom night last year and see her off. And so we don't forget these families. There will be an indelible part of our lives, and when promises are made, they have to be kept. And so I think I know that Chief Henderson will stay in touch with this family like we have done with all of our families over the years. Here, and not to mention in Houston, we had to bury 5 officers in 11 months. That stays with you forever as well.
All right, Chief, we appreciate you so much. And, you know, our viewers have been emailing and their thoughts and prayers to you, to the department, as you all make it and navigate through this day. So thank you so much for joining us. And, of course, we'll be streaming the funeral, which starts at 11.
Thank you, and just please keep these men and women in prayer. Appreciate you very much.
Safe travels. Thank you so much. Funeral starts at 11 o'clock this morning. 10:19 is the time as we take a live look at the picture of Jorge Pastore, the fallen police officer who died in the line of duty.
A father, a husband, a friend, and someone who fiercely protected the community of Central Texas. We will join you back here at 11 o'clock to show you the service of Officer Jorge George Pastore.